Well, we live in a society that's driven by attraction and intimacy, but not everyone acts on these desires. Fashion designer Karl Lagerfeld and TV personality Tim Gunn are famous faces who identify themselves as asexual.
Now, they are the only ones, though. As many as 1%, as much as 1% of the population is said to be of asexual orientation. To talk us through the stats and stereotypes behind asexuality, we're joined in the studio now by sexologist Nikki Goldstein. Good morning to you, Nikki.
Good morning.
Let's start with what this means. What is asexuality?
Okay, so this one's a little bit more complicated. So I'm going to start off by saying what it's not. So it's not just someone who's not having sex. So it's a multi-leveled, multifaceted sexual orientation that is defined by somebody's lack of sexual attraction. So sexuality is very unique for a lot of people, and so is asexuality. So it's experienced differently by different people.
Right. Clear as mud. Okay, do asexual people have sex?
So this is where it starts to get all a bit sticky.
No,
Don't say sticky.
Sorry, complicated. I won't even say hard, complicated. So he's lost it.
Come on, be mature, Larry.
So back to asexuality. There is a study at the moment that is being done by Asexuality Awareness Week. So they have projected that about 5% of asexuals are currently sexually active. So we're saying that asexuals have a lack of sexual attraction, but just for the same reasons everyone else might have sex, asexuals might also be having sex.
So
this is things like experimenting,
Right.
being curious, differentiating a relationship to a friendship, and also compromising in a relationship.
Right.
So this is the interesting one. You said that 1% of the population is
Yes,
affected.
I did say that.
So there's a high possibility if someone who's an asexual,
Yes.
is going to get into a relationship with somebody who's not an asexual
Yes.
and still has a level of sexual attraction.
Correct. And this is why I started this segment with "I don't understand."
I'm
And you didn't
trying.
believe me. So just for some clarity, just so we got absolute clarity on this, 5% of the 1% that don't do.
Yes.
So 1% don't,
1%
but
of the
5% of the 1% do that say they
Yes.
don't do.
Yes. They don't do, but they do it for the same reasons that you might be having sex. Now I'm lost.
Don't bring me into this, Nikki.
Now, asexuality, it's a very broad orientation. There are different categories. Can you talk us through these different categories?
If you can keep a straight face.
Yeah, sorry, we'll be mature.
So, people are defined by sometimes how they love. So whether they want to have sex or not is another issue. So then we get things like aromantic, which is people who don't really want to have a relationship with anybody. Heteroromantic, homoromantic, biromantic, and even panromantic. So that's defined by who they love, not by who they have sex with.
What's panromantic?
Panromantic is pansexual. So that means they're neither
It's something in the kitchen.
bisexual, it means they're attracted to the person, not the sexuality. That's another segment.
What's going on out there?
What are you people doing? Why don't you just get up, watch the morning show, go to work, and come home and watch the news? What is? No, good luck to you. What are some of the other what are some of the other misconceptions? Because there must be a lot around this, and you can't kind of blame the general population because it is hard to understand.
Well, people still deny that it's a sexual orientation. So they often say things like they're unlucky in love, they're celibate, they're afraid, they're suffering from sexual dysfunction, or they're unattractive, which is my favourite one because David J., who is a spokesperson and activist for asexuality in the US, I think is really attractive. So it just goes to show you that asexuality does not mean that they are unattractive or ugly people.
So if you got involved in a relationship with him,
Oh, don't even go
would
there.
that be hetero?
No, that would be hetero-romantic.
Transatlantic.
Transatlantic.
Oh, can you
Maybe you should come back to sex school with me.
Oh, dear.
Okay.
If people are looking for
Yes.
support,
Okay.
because there clearly is a very serious side to this. If people are looking for support and help finding their way through this, what is is a complicated maze, where do they go?
Well, the best website is AVEN, which is Asexual Visibility and Education Network. Now, there's also on there is a link to Asexuality Awareness Week, which is coming up in October.
Oh,
And I also suggest too, there's some YouTube videos by a woman called Swank Ivy. It's a little bit of a comic take, but there's a lot of information there that's quite easy to digest.
So I'm googling Swank
Swank Ivy.
Not on a work computer.
No, no, there's nothing sexual about it. It's quite fun.
For what it's worth, thank you.
Thank you.
We really appreciate your time.
Doubly thank you. Sorry we giggled all the way through that.
No, well,
it's a serious
that was
issue.
disgusting.